Hey y'all, welcome to episode 23 of the Stay at Home Son podcast. And today we got a very special episode. We got one of our boys, one of our favorites on the podcast. We have reviewed many of his films. We have interviewed him many of times. Our boy Wigwolf has dropped another short film, and this is called Targeted in Heaven. And like a classic Wigwolf film, there is a lot to discuss and a lot of things going on. So Thomas, you want to give us a little rundown of the film and first initial thoughts?
Well, there's so much going on. We were talking about it actually a little bit before, but basically, she's on top of a Ferris wheel recounting all these encounters. Basically, these like really strange encounters that usually ended with her killing them. And then I guess I could give the spoiler here. She ends up killing herself in this little doll that she gets at the end. So I think the first thing I want to mention about this film, actually, you want to add anything else to what I said? I just gave like a general rundown.
Oh no,
Before
you
I
can
go.
you go ahead and mention stuff because I'm gathering my thoughts because like I said, there's so much to unpack with this film.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing I kind of liked about this film was between each segment, Wigwolf would be in front of I guess like a Section 8 housing project in New York City, and he was like wearing like a Tupac shirt and rapping and everything. So
Yeah, no, that the love on the brain. See, he sent me the video, the music video part of that before we did the review. So I thought most of this was just going to be the music video. I didn't realize there was like a story to it until they told me about. I actually made a short with it, and the "Love on the Brain" by Rihanna rendition was absolutely hilarious. And I find it so funny because he always does. It's almost like he subconsciously knows when it's starting to get a little dark, like when it's starting to get a little maybe too like edgy or a little too like scary, not scary, but just like disturbing. He'll throw in like that crazy unorthodox humor, and I just love it when he does that because it kind of is like almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like kind of like comedic relief. Wolf does comedic relief very good. He gets you to that like that scary spot, that kind of like that dread starts sneaking in. You might be a little confused, a little scared, and then he'll have like something like that to kind of like lighten the mood, and then remind you like this is just a Wigwolf film. It's gonna have some humor in it, you know.
And we were talking about this a little bit before before we started this recording this today. But I was kind of, and I brought the question. So when she encounters for the majority of the film, he encounters like this guy. Like I said, he kind of looks like the lady from Wendy's. But it's like I'm trying to figure out if like is there something wrong with him, or is it like she can't remember it clearly because like he can't make a coherent sentence for some reason?
Yeah, I think he has Down syndrome. That's what I think he does. Now, I don't know if the actor in real life does it or does not. If he does, then props to him for being such a good actor. And if he does, props to him for acting with regardless of any disabilities. No one can tell you you can't be an actor. So that's very inspirational regardless. But it was crazy. I mean, it was definitely took me by surprise. I was kind of had a hard time understanding the villain in this character. But I think he was a real person. I think he was like the leader. I think that was like he was like the biker gang leader or something like that. And I know Wigwolf, so I know he likes to subvert like expectations and stuff. So I think in his world, it's funny and kind of ironic if like someone in our world, someone with Down syndrome is not really looked at as someone who could be like a wrongfully so. But a lot of times we look at them like they won't be leaders or they won't be evil. We don't put that label on them. But Wigwolf being as bold of an innovator as a filmmaker he is, he's like, no, I'm going to subvert expectations and I'm going to have a villain that is comical but also kind of pokes fun and also kind of sheds light on like people have layers and people are different, so you shouldn't really judge a book by its cover. So I thought it was a very bold statement to make your lead antagonist that way. I'm sure he'll get some hate for it, honestly. I mean, I'm not a blind to the part where that could be a sensitive topic for people, but just from a strictly filmmaking perspective, I have a lot of credit for him for being able to take those boundaries and not be scared of that backlash like that, because it definitely is pretty cool.
Yes, and then like I said a little bit in the intro, he ends up giving him like a little chicken doll that she carries around for the rest of the film, who ends up dying at the end of the film.
Yeah, Wigwolf loves his chickens, man. Even in his like, I think I know he has chickens. I think his chickens recently had chicks. So congrats on your new chicks, Wigwolf. He loves chickens. I think it's kind of cool how he uses them in his film. Like he literally uses his own chickens in the film. I think that's just cool, like budget filmmaking, using what you have. I kind of would love to talk to him about like the symbolism with chickens because he sure uses them a lot, in a lot of his films, and this is no exception. I wonder what that really means to him. Maybe they just are good like props. Maybe they have a deeper meaning. I would find that interesting. One thing I found found cool about the film, and I have it pulled up on my notes right here, is it says, what is it said? There's something that always gets repeated. Oh, here we go. Throughout the movie, I've noticed it says this one line all the time, and it is the clock is ticking. I'm gonna be late. I have a job to do. And it says that throughout the film. So, Thomas, did you notice that? And if you did notice that, do you have any ideas on what that could possibly be trying to say?
Was the job the ending scene?
Yeah, well, I noticed at the start, it kind of like says, the clock is ticking. I have a job to do. It's like every time she disassociates, it says that. Like right when she first goes to see the evil villain, it says that. And then when she kills herself, but we assume what happened, she says that too. So I wonder if that's like it's kind of like a driving theme throughout the story, and I just kind of noticed it. So I know it has to mean something, but I just was wondering if you noticed that too.
Yeah, I did. I did notice. I remember they were saying something. I didn't remember what, but
Yeah. The clock is ticking. You're late. You have a job to do. They also they shout out the movie Paris, Texas, which is a movie I've never watched before, but I heard it's pretty good. But I kind of like their little kind of poking fun at that and kind of like bringing that up. I kind of like when films mention other films. I kind of always feel that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, there's some cruel things about this film. I honestly thought like that piano part where she's talking to the villain, and they're kind of like showing him in his world, like with the blood on the basketball and the chickens, and it's just like so uncanny. That little like minor chords that are going on with the piano, like the do do do, it's creepy. It's really creepy because I saw it in his trailer for it, and like it gave me chills how creepy it was. Like something about it was just so like, and then the name "Targeted in Heaven" mixed with that, it was just very, very unsettling, but good in a good way.
I'm trying to figure out how because like do we fast forward to the present once we get to the end? Because like this whole film is told in a flashback for the most part, with her on the Ferris wheel in the amusement park.
Yeah, I think it starts maybe in the real well, flashback, right? Technically, I think it ends in the real world where she does do that, but maybe that was everything that was going through her head before she did that. And in my mind, maybe she had something she had to do. It was almost like an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. Like I have late, I need to be somewhere, I got to be somewhere. It was interesting, man. It was
Was he the one that did the Alice in Wonderland parody?
no, he did the I know what you're talking about. He showed us his Wizard of Oz parody, which is very
Oh, Wizard
similar.
of Oz parody. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first films we reviewed on the channel, he showed us the Wigwolf's Wizard of Oz was a very good film. This one had a darker feeling to it. I mean, I was a little disturbed after watching it, but like in a good way. I like films that challenge me, and I thought this film was one of those films. But yeah, I mean, it was all in all good for him. I really liked the name. I thought Targeted in Heaven kind of it jumps at you. It's kind of shock jockey, but at the same time, it's like wow, that kind of does sit with you. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and so much. There was so much to talk about in a little 10-minute video. I mean,
Right, right. Well, that's what Wig Wolf does with his films, man. He'll give you like a 10-minute video, a 9-minute video. And one thing about Wig Wolf is when he says he's gonna do a short, it's a short. He never will do a short that's like over 10 minutes, which I love when filmmakers do that. If you're gonna do something short, do it short. But there's always a lot to unpack. It's always this weird blend of crude humor mixed with surrealism, mixed with darkness and uncanniness mixed with like comedic laugh out humor. So it's like very interesting how he does that. And I'm sure Wigwolf will tell you this film is definitely not for everyone. There's going to be a lot of people who watch this and just absolutely confused. But if you're into like experimental kind of films, or you just want to be challenged on like your emotions, or honestly if you just want to be scared, this could be a very good film for that. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having Wigwolf on the show and just interviewing him about this film because it was one of the more interesting films we've seen in a while. Honestly, I would say it stuck with me.
yeah, I will say it was very interesting. But I'll be honest, I was a little bit into that camp where I was kind of confused. I'm like, what's going on? But then I guess it came full circle at the end when she decided to offer. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, Thomas, you have any last little quotes or last little things you want to say before we wrap this up for today?
um, I think just like it's a fun little watch. I thoroughly I enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, like I think my favorite part was when she with that little middle bulk of the film when she talks to the guy that we don't know if there's a I guess we still don't know if there's a what's wrong with him or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I like that part, and I really like the music that played through that part. Like the part where you see this guy struggling to make his sentences, and you're kind of like seeing him as the villain. It's just weird. Like that piano just freaks me out. But they did a really good job. Music in films is a big thing. If you do it wrong, it's bad. If you do it right, it's really good. And Wigwolf did it really good in this film. So good job to y'all. But I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. Y'all be sure to check out our boy Wigwolf and his new film Target in Heaven. We love you, Wigwolf. We love you, Thomas. Y'all are two best supporters of the channel. So we always love reviewing y'all. And y'all should look out for them. And I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. And remember, stay at home.